Could you give us a motion?
I'll make a motion that in the absence of our board president, commission president, and vice president, that Commissioner Barnhart will chair the meeting today.
Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that I'll chair the meeting. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Then I will very gladly open the meeting. Call the meeting to order. Any items from the public? Any public? Yes, sir. Yep. State your name for the record.
All right, sir. How are you?
I missed y'all for a while. Really, the purpose that I'm here is to do with the assessment of property. I'll get right to my issue. State or the county, whatever, presents to the taxpayer the paper or a letter that when you get the new assessment on your taxes, that you, as the taxpayer, have the right within 8 days to make a verbal commitment or a written. I've done this one time, and that's been about 3 years ago.
I remember.
Okay. So, the issue that we've had now, I don't know if it's ever been, anybody else has been in here, but I'm not anybody else. I say what I feel. I didn't get my letter. I got assessment on 3 of the 5 properties that I got that exceeded the 10% or $1,000. That paper, that letter that I got this year was the same type of letter that I got 3 years ago. So I didn't see anything unordinary about it. The problem was, the thing was not sent to me. It was postmarked January the 31st. So I received the paper, the letter, the 3rd or the 4th of February. Now, I'm already 3 weeks past the due date that the letter tells me I'm allowed to have. So I contacted the assessor's office with nobody in mind except Mr. Hess. But I didn't talk to Mr. Hess, and I'm not sure who I did talk to. I either talked to Cody or John Streets. When I told him my situation, I'm told, sorry, Mr. Spurgeon, there's not a thing we can do for you because you've already exceeded your time limit. Well, whose fault is that? So we had a discussion over the phone about that situation. Now, being a taxpayer, there's not a whole lot of options or luxuries that you're given. So this was one that I have utilized. And now I'm being told by the assessor's office, my property, tough bull. You can't do anything about it. You've already exceeded your time. Wasn't my fault. I contacted the assessor's office the very day that I got my letter. I'm told, take it to I can give you a number for the appeals board in Charleston. I sure as the devil didn't want to go through that process because my issue is local. And I've always been treated decent dealing with local people. And that's where I think my claim or my complaint should be. That's what the state told me. Somebody gave me the right to come in here and talk to you guys. Not something that I generated. Now I'm being told, because of whatever problem, I'm sorry, you have to do something different. So what I do, I start that process. And when you start dealing with Charleston, I think you've all had experience with it. It's a damn nightmare. and everybody passes the buck. And I'm not the type of person that likes to be run around the barn. Tell me what you want to tell me and be done with me. So to call down there, I talked to this one. Now I find out that one didn't have the right to tell you this. And this one didn't have the right to tell you that. That doesn't change the situation. My tax and my assessment is still in question. My rights was taken away that I could come in here and humiliate you guys. Now I'm back. Only because of this is a public hearing, and I figured this was the best place to start.
But you're absolutely right.
I'm not contesting my taxes. I'm contesting, the first thing is that the concern about this letter wasn't sent to me like it's supposed to. So if it wasn't sent to me, how many other people in Berkeley County was this not done to? There is no excuse for that. I don't care how you cut it. There's no excuse for that. And what should have been done when I called, instead of being shoved to Charleston, there should have been something said, we'll come in and talk to us. Come in and see what we can do. No. That tells me, Berkeley County don't want to deal with me. So they're sending me, their hands is tied. So send me to Charleston to go through that crap. And I've had, I think 4 or 5 of these calls. And I'm told, I got to deal with, I think this gentleman here, Delgado. I'm not dealing with him. I met him one time about 2 months ago, and he is appointed to defend you and the state. They're telling me I have to show cause. If I want this thing to work, I got to show cause of why I'm contesting the office. Well, I'm not an assessor. I've not had a class in assessing. Why should you not? If you're going to increase my property value by $50,000 or $60,000, why should you not have to show what justifies that? Why should I have to go out here and beat the brush to try to find something out that I don't know? I don't know where you got your numbers at. So it's just as important for you to show me, the figures as me to go out and do the chasing. You're more qualified than I am. That's not how they view it. And because I haven't went out and I was told by the lady, or a lawyer or a judge in Charleston, that I needed to talk to Mr. Delgado and work it out with him. Well, if it was workable, we wouldn't have the problem now. I wouldn't be here now. And I will not deal with him, period.
Have you spoken to Larry?
Yes, yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to get him involved because, to the point.
He is the assessor.
Well, I know, but when I called the assessor's office, I got, I think a guy named Doc. Don't know who that is. Then I talked to Cody. I never tried to really talk to John Streets because that's where the problem is. And when I found out yesterday why my property was assessed so is because I had capped my driveway at my shop with blacktop. And Larry tells me that I hadn't been, charged on my taxes in the past. So now they're going to hit me with it. But it was a question of, Larry, do you remember Spurgeon's driveway? Was it hard capped? Was there blacktop in it? Was you running across riprap? I had a driveway that a business owned before I bought the property. I didn't do anything different to it except here 2 years ago, I got tired of running over the rough driveway. And where this blacktop came from that is in my driveway is the fact that I've work for people, and they always order more than they need. So they say, Sonny, can you use it? Take it and dump it, get rid of it. So I could have went out here along the highway somewhere and dump the stuff over the bank. No, I'll bring it to the shop, and my boys tailgate it. And I didn't have a roller, I didn't have a paver, but we could tailgate it as good enough. It took care of my problem. Well, 2 years ago, I get a little bit of money, and I thought, I'm going to make this better. I'm going to go ahead and cap this. That's what I did. I bought the blacktop, great paving. I had rented a roller. I rented a paver. I hauled the stuff myself, and I put me a nice driveway. If any of you guys come out to my shop, you're not running over a hump in the road. It's level, and it looks nice. I've upgraded my property. Now I'm being kicked in the ass because that's what I've done. I've made my property look better, more professional looking. Now I'm going to get assessed $45,000 more. It is absolutely crazy. When I find out how this assessment is ran, I would think that there's not that many places on Route 11 like what I've got. So how could I be compared to the daycare center up here beside North Junior High as a reference to what my taxes are going to be down on Route 11? My property is still in the floodplain. I got 2 tracks here, a 5-acre and a 2-acre. The 5-acre tract, I'm in a safe zone. The 2 acres where my shop's at, I'm in the floodplain. I have brought this up many times. Nothing has been done about it. Now, people say, well, what's that got to do with your property? Well, if you're going to buy a property, are you going to want to buy something that says, hey, you're accessible to major floods? Or are you going to want to buy something that you can use? You don't want to spend $1 million for a piece of property and then spend $5 million to correct the water on it. The industrial park, spatial rates have been for years. 5.48 acres, and I got 5.5. There is $300 difference a year in what that 6-acre tract is paying as opposed to my 2.4. So I've actually got 2.4 acres with my shop, and I'm paying that kind of money as opposed to what other. Compare me to what I should be compared to. You're not going to take a trucking business and compare it to a restaurant. What I see is like when I used to go to a sale, and I see something sold, and I think, damn, I could. That's a good price, and I can make a job for that. When you start having to create work and a job for something you're buying, you're way out of line. You're crazy, and I've been crazy. All I want is there's a lot more things I would like to go through, but you don't have the time. I'm upset. I pay my taxes. I try to pay my taxes. I have for the last probably 10 years. I paid it all at one time. I don't drag it out, even though I could save $5. I try to be as straight and as honest with anybody I deal with. You may not like what I say. Mr. Delgado may not appreciate me saying I don't like him. I don't care.
Sonny, I've known you for a long time, and we've always had good relationships.
Right.
And I've always admired you and the work that you do, and we will try to come to some agreement somehow. Larry, did you talk to him a couple of days ago? Litigation?
Litigation has been, are you going to send us some kind of show cause why your appeal should go through? And right now, I'm on a 20 to 30 day stay of execution until I make up my mind. Do I want to, because I told him the other day when I talked to him, because I see I'm going nowhere. And Charleston is trying to deal with me, and they don't have a clue where Shake Charge Road's at.
No, they wouldn't.
And so they're sitting out there, and the last thing that I feel is they should be telling me how I should be doing what I'm doing in Berkeley County. That's your guys' responsibility. You control me. You give me the option of coming in here and expressing my problems, and I would say this. Sonny Spurgeon is not the only person that's dealing with this. How many people never got that letter until after the fact? And what do? They sign a check, and it's easier to pay the damn bill than to come in here and make a butt of yourself. Well, I do that pretty good.
Those letters come out of Charleston, right, Larry?
Yeah, it was a statewide problem. Those letters were sent laid out to everybody in the state of West Virginia.
And Steve, I've heard that. It's a state problem. No, Berkeley County should have somebody. Berkeley County knew that these letters should be going out. I don't know of anybody that's contacted to find out where's this at. Until I called in the assessor's office, they didn't know that I hadn't had mine. So somebody in Berkeley County should be made aware that this paperwork, because it is important to people. When you're talking thousands of dollars assessment, not everybody can do that. And so the state has given us a right to come in here and lodge a complaint or talk about it. I don't want to deal in Charleston. I want to deal with you guys. Now, if I can't deal with you all in a fair manner, then I'll have to do something different. But I'd rather do it the right way. The right way is for us to fix the problem instead of just saying, well, Sonny, there's not a thing we can do for you. That's the wrong damn thing to tell me.
Yeah, Sonny, can you hang on just for a second? Because we got a bid opening scheduled at 9:50 that we have to
Oh, we do?
follow
Okay.
just hang tight here. Just sit down for a minute, and then we'll put you back up as soon as we get this bid opening done.
Okay.
I need the agenda approved.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the agenda for August the 15th, 2024.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the agenda be approved. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The agenda's been approved. Okay, we can go to the bid opening.
Sir, you have a bid opening in front of you for less than lethal equipment for law enforcement. A certificate of publication is attached. I believe you received 2 bids.
I think there might be 3. Well, yeah, 2. Get it out there in a minute.
This is a bid for, what is it? Less lethal equipment. This got the envelope, but there's no address on there.
The envelope is right there.
This is from Kiesler, Kiesler Police Supply of Jeffersonville, Indiana. Attachment A, okay, 3 copies. Several items here. Combined tactical systems, $15,122. Aim Point, $3,745.84. Another Aim Point, $758.16. Combined Tactical Systems, $5,049. Combined Tactical Systems again, $2,446.50. Combined Tactical Systems, again, this is a flameless expulsion canister grenade, $26.78. Another Combined Tactical System, a vapor grenade, $23.82. They did not bid on the Raid Works, which is an adaptive rifle interchangeable sling. Total for all equipment, $32,181.50. And then the second one? This is from Markle, M-A-R-K-L, Supply Company from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Same categories that I just read for the other one. Total for all equipment, $30,050.04. They bid on everything, looks like.
That's what I was going to ask. Did they bid on the one the other day?
Yeah.
Just those two.
Okay.
All right.
Bid
we
opening
have-
next.
Another one?
Yeah, we have one more bid opening. This is for dry boxes for storage of explosive materials. Certificate of publication is attached, and you have received one bid.
These bids will be reviewed by the sheriff's.
Yes, sir. These will be reviewed by the Sheriff's Department and returned to you at a later time for approval.
This is for Type 2 and Type 3 day boxes for storage of explosive materials. This is like Armac, A-R-M-A-C Corporation from Bardstown, Kentucky. Type 2 magazines and Type 3 day boxes. Quotation. Total $8,923.37. And that concludes the bid openings, correct?
That is all the bids.
All right, back to Sonny Spurgeon.
Mr. President, it may be, Mr. Spurgeon, it may be best with your public comment rule to have Mr. Spurgeon come back on an agenda item for more conversation about this.
Does that work for you, Sonny, or are you about finished?
I'm just about done.
Okay.
I would like to make one correction. And while I was sitting there, it's not right that I passed the opinion that I did of Mr. Delgado. What I don't like about is his position on certain items. Doesn't mean that he's a bad person. But I believe that his position in this county would be his first objective would be the citizens who pay the bills. Just to, and the one time that I just was assured that his disposition was anything but favorable to what my ideas was. Doesn't mean that he's wrong and I'm right and he's right and I'm wrong. It's just the fact that we have a difference of opinion. It's just how you present that. Now I can come in here and cuss and raise crap and you ain't gonna like me. But then again, you might. Because you know what you're getting when I talk.
You true about that?
I'm not gifted. I'm not trying to be mean or arrogant. I'm just trying to, my money comes hard. And if you're going to tax me, then do it appropriate, everybody across the board, or as close as possible. You can't get everything right. I understand that. But when I've had this experience, 3 years now, or twice in 3 years, of overassessment. $100,000 for a piece of property that I'm already paying, $300,000 on. It's just crazy. And when we looked at it, and only because the only thing that saved me was Larry Hess. Larry looked at it. Larry seen where the mistakes was made. Larry worked it out. It may not have been 100% what Sonny wanted, but I had somebody that made the attempt to help me. Larry Hess did it. Same thing with this. Larry, I talked to him probably for an hour and a half yesterday, and he realizes that there's some flaws in what's been done. But he realized there was flaws 3 years ago, and we're still dealing with the same thing. And 3 years from now, we're going to be dealing with the same thing, because it's just like, squeaky wheels, one gets the grease. And I don't know how much longer that I'll be able to stand up here in front of you. But as long as Sonny Spurgeon don't think that he's been mistreated, taken advantage of, I ain't gonna bother you. I haven't been in here for 3 years. Steve Catlett is a good friend of mine, but I've not bothered him to check out what he could do for me. I want to do this myself. I'm going to present myself and let him make a decision, just like you guys are hearing for the first time. I don't expect special stuff. I think everybody in Berkeley County ought to be treated the same with your taxes. The way this system is set up, it's bull. It's not right. It's not right to let one guy walk around here and say he's done this and he's done that. Well, I'm not sitting down there for 3 years waiting on John Streets to see if John Streets pulls in my driveway or not. Now, he has papers that says that he was down there and he checked into it. Something that's important is this: you contact the owner. You don't go to somebody that's working there driving a truck and so. But I don't think Mr. Delgado is a bad person. I just don't like some of his demeanor, and I'm sure that he doesn't like me, and that's okay. Doug Copenhaver didn't like me either, so I'll leave it at that. And I do thank you all.
Thank you, Sonny, and we'll check into it.
I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Anybody else? Consent agenda. Anybody got questions for Tracy on the purchase order? No questions for Tracy? Internal budget revisions, I guess there are none.
There are no internal budget revisions.
Changes in status. All right, we have a new hire recommendation by Larry Hess for Isabella, I gotta get my glasses. Isabella Nicewarner for a clerk, $35,000 compensation rate, estimated start date to be determined. Tammy Hawkins, out-of-state tags, general office clerk. Larry Hesse, assessor, $37,000 of compensation rate and estimated starting date to be determined. Ashley Loudon, a clerk for Larry Hess, gets a salary increase. I guess that's what, for additional work or being a good person. From $50,873 to $53,700. Estimated start date August 1st. Resignations. Michael Davis, Ryan Glessner, Charles Gray, James Miller, Kenny Barrett, and Donald Shade are all resignations from as a part-time firefighter received from Chief Marty Roberts, all effective date August the 8th. What's going on there?
Those were part-time employees that were inactive.
Okay. And then Lisa Marie Gray is a custodian. Her effective termination date is August 15th, 2024. Let me see. We got the approval of minutes from August 1st, 2024. Everyone was present, so there's no need to pull unless there's a correction or amendment to the minutes, which I guess is not forthcoming because nobody's saying anything. Bond release, Dollar General, Eagle 129 Eagle School Road, BCP 2203-067 tied to BCP 2206-0075 and 2308-262, which is a grading permit, LOC 784, a traditional bank. It's a full release. Oh, and that's it. Then anything here, Doug? I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Office error taxes. Mr. Hess.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Before we get started, I do have one I want to bring back to you, and I'm not sure what to do with it.
Well, we're not either.
Okay, so what it is, it's a correction for assessment. It's different than most of the exonerations. In other words, we have two properties that didn't get keyed properly last year. So when the bill came out, they didn't get the value rolled over from our assessment to the side that creates the bill. So they didn't get the value, and they didn't get the bill. Just one had a $300 bill on it, and the other just had a zero. But they had houses on them, and they need to be corrected. And it was a mistake; it just didn't get keyed properly. So we brought them over here. I think 2 weeks ago, as an exoneration, but not to reduce a value, but to increase a value. And it's kind of different than what we usually do. It's an exoneration, you know. But so we checked with the auditor's office, and the auditor's office said that this could be done this way as long as there was an existing ticket, which they both had existing tickets. So, so we corrected, you know, and these two parties wanted to pay their bill. They, I want to pay my tax bill, but I don't, you know. The only option would be to back tax it for the following year. And that gives you two tax bills in 1 year. They don't, you know. So if we can correct it now, let's correct it. They want to pay their bill and give you guys the money. So we did this and brought it here, and so you guys approved it, signed and approved it, the sheet. Tax office said they can't do it now.
State tax though.
No, our tax office.
Your tax though.
Yeah, your tax office.
Says you can't do it now.
Yeah, they said they can't make a ticket for this because one of them, the guy came in, it was $7 for the $300 assessment. I think he went ahead and paid that. But we realized that when we did the correction, we deducted that $7 off to give him, you know, the benefit for that amount. But I don't know what to do with it because they want to pay their bill, and the tax office says we can't do it now after we had everything approved. So the only thing I know to do is bring it back to you guys, and if you want to talk to the tax office or whatever, you can.
I would say you're the tax office.
No,
No, he's the assessor.
Sheriff's tax office.
Oh,
Yeah, they,
because they took the
Yeah.
money.
and it's usually just if you do an exoneration, it's just a matter of making up another bill and
Yeah.
creating another one. But so I'm going to hand this back to you, Anthony. What you can do with that, but I don't know what else to do with it.
All right, on the
So. Okay.
current stuff.
We do have some exonerations again this time, and this is a busy time. So You know, we have a total for office air personal property. I have, I think 24 of them. And they're all for the general reasons, double billed or whatever, but for those personal property, 24 office errors, if you total all those up, they come up to $9,135.08 for those 24 office error
All
personal.
right, we have a personal property office error exonerations.
I make a motion that we approve the 24 personal property exonerations that total $9,135.08.
Have a second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Good, thank you.
Real estate.
We have two we had to correct for real estate office error. One of them was the farm, Trinity United Methodist Church got a bill for their building down on Shepherdstown Road. It shouldn't have been billed, should have been exempt, so we had to correct that one. And the other one, the house burned down, and we had to correct that because we still had it on the tax records. But for those two, it comes up to $2,461.52 for the real estate exoneration.
A motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded for the real estate exonerations. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Thank
All right,
you.
now you've got some divorces.
Yeah, we've had several of them lately. For some reason, there's something in the air.
Tell me about it.
But at any rate, we do.
I believe it's four.
First one we have is for Aaron and Casey Harnish. They had two vehicles, a Ford Fusion, a Dodge Ram, total assessed value $19,215. And we just separated the bill so each one of them could get their own assessment. And just need your approval on that one. You want me to go ahead and do all of them at the
Can we
same
do them
time?
all, or do you have to do them separately? Do them all?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, keep going.
Second one would be same thing, separate the bill so they could get a separate bill for a Robert and Courtney Brown. They had several vehicles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had 7 vehicles. Total assessed value of $31,493. And we separated those bills apart to get them two separate bills so they could pay their own assessments.
I'm glad she got this, the Sea-Doo and the trailer. That's,
Yes, she did.
yeah. Of course, it's 2004, but still.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't split the two. One
No,
was the trailer
no, she
and one
got,
was
she got the
Sea-Doo,
trailer and the Sea-Doo.
You gotta have a trailer. The third one I got is for Liam and McKaylee McDonald. Had 2 vehicles, total assessed value of $31,560. We separated those 2 out so they could get their own bill also. And the last one is for a Sean Murphy. 2 vehicles, total assessed value $8,970. We separated that bill for Sean got one assessment of $3,735, and his ex-wife Denise Holloman now got the other amount of $5,235.
Okay,
But we need the approval for all 4 of those.
yeah. Do I have a motion for the approval of the 4 divorce decrees?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded that 4 divorce decrees that Mr. Hess elaborated on be approved. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed?
Good.
Now there's a consolidation of
Thanks.
2, baby.
I do have 2 consolidations that I bring to you. One's for Charles Almoist. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that
Holmquist.
correctly, but at any rate, they had in Martinsburg District, they had two parcels, the map 14, parcel 106 and 106.1, and we put them together so they could just get one tax bill. The other one's for a Robert Orndorff, had 2 parcels in Falling Waters District, part and map 3D, parcel 5 and parcel 6. We did the same thing, put them together so they could get one tax bill. So need your approval on those 2 consolidations.
Thank you. We have 2 applications for consolidation of property. You have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the 2 consolidation of properties be approved. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That's it. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Hess.
sir.
Have a great morning.
All right, board meeting reports.
Well,
Got anything, HD?
I had some meetings and things. We went down to the state auditors training and had some meetings with the County Commissioner Association. I think we had some good networking and some good meetings and learned some great things. Steve was down there with me and Gary as well. Then I came back and I had my roundhouse meeting yesterday. We didn't have a quorum. We almost had one, but there was a lot of school orientation and stuff. People jumped on the Zoom, off the Zoom. So we kind of just went through things, discussed some things, but no action was taken. We do have the back to school thing let the public know. This Saturday, 10 to 2, Main Street and the Farmers Market and the Roundhouse working together. A lot of giveaways, school supplies, backpacks, those type of things. Combined with the Farmers Market last year, was over 1,000 people there. Say that we might be expecting almost 2,000 this year. So good event there this weekend, and things are moving along with everything else over there, and that's where we're at. So that's what I got to report.
Well, thank you, Mr. HD. Mr. Catlett.
I had no board meetings since we last met last Thursday, but as HD said, I did attend the State Auditor's Annual In-Service Training for County Commissioners at Canaan Valley. The weather was wonderful. The high was 72 degrees each day. Just beautiful weather. And, last year it was a combined meeting at down in Berkeley area where the CCA had their annual meeting, but they separated this year and had it in Stonewall earlier this summer. And so this was just the in training only. And of course, most of it was, just redundant, and we already knew what was going on. There was a few things that Harry made note of that we may have to do certain things to correct. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, or just pass a motion or something.
And there's some new legislation that
Some
10%.
new legislation that's gotten involved now in different things.
Yeah. 10% rule if a property burns and they collect the check, they can't just collect the full check from the insurance until they clean the property now. We can hold 10% back.
Yeah, so there's some interesting little issues there that will affect us down the road. So.
And they yelled at you because you didn't come, but I told them you're retiring, so it didn't matter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's always good to know. I'm being retired. Anything else, Steve?
No, like I said, I didn't have any other meetings. And that's all I had.
Well, I spent a week in Myrtle Beach watching Tropical Storm Debbie go by. I got back Monday night, and of course I had a water board meeting Monday, but I got home past that, so I had no meetings to report. But next week, I think we're jammed up. I have plenty to report on next week. Any board vacancies can be considered?
None by me.
Oh, I also attended the groundbreaking yesterday at the Wawa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I left you a book on your desk.
Yeah, I saw
You
that.
got to look at the history of the Wawa.
Yeah, exciting. But no board appointments or anything?
Nope.
No.
New board applications, Troy Barrett, I see he's scheduled for the 22nd. Okay.
You have one reappointment packet received.
Oh, from Bill Simons for the fire board. Well, on to Tony Petrucci, County Clerk.
The honorable.
Yes, most honorable. Well, after Sonny Spurgeon, you know, what?
I know how to follow that. I just wanted to tell you, I did pay my taxes this morning, and the girl was very pleasant, and I got a piece of candy out of the deal, so what the hell.
Can't ask for more than that.
And I'm very happy to receive that money. Great job, tax office. Excuse me? I could have. Well, next time let me know.
So was it a piece of candy like out of your grandmother's purse or a chocolate?
No, this was right up top. They have candy there.
Oh, no, but is it the hard candies?
It was
was
hard
in
candy,
the-
butterscotch, my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like butterscotch.
You have the read ahead. This year, the state of West Virginia through Code 3-3-5C is authorizing some absentee voting on the day of Election Day. And you have that in front of you, some of the qualifications for that. And basically, all our office needs, voter registration needs, is your all's blessing for that for the 2024 election.
Do they have to prove that they were hospitalized and that kind of stuff? or-
Yep.
How do you do that?
I guess to a doctor's lab. Yeah. Those are the three things they came up with that we got. Hospitalized or confined to a duly licensed healthcare facility within an adjacent county or within 35 miles. So there's paperwork there that they could give us that would state that. To a resident in a nursing home within the county of residence and would otherwise be unable to vote in person and has resided in a nursing home for a period of less than 30 days. Also, there'd be documentation for that also. And then 3, a voter who is working as a replacement poll worker and is assigned to a precinct out of his or her voting district. The assignment was made after the period for voting in an absentee ballot or in person. So,
Now, are you going to advertise about this?
Yes.
Kind of thing?
yes, we'll put it on our Facebook page. We'll have it listed down in the voter registration building. So we'll do our part to get this out as quick as we can because it is somewhat short notice, but not terribly bad. We've been in worse situations. So that's all I have is for your all's blessing for this to approve this.
Well, you heard the man. Do I have a
I'll
motion?
make a motion to approve the emergency absentee voting policy.
I second that.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the emergency absentee voting policy. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? There you got it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all's help.
Thank you, sir.
You don't need approval on these other issues,
We
yeah?
have 2 more things.
Yeah,
Tony?
We have the
Yeah.
approval for voting locations.
Early voting locations.
Early voting?
Yeah, that's what we got here.
Okay.
Here, Beddington, Riverton, and South Berkeley
Yeah.
volunteer.
Okay, it's the same as we had last year, Mr. President. No difference. We're hoping we'll have the early voting, I guess, upstairs. The conference room that's being refurbished for this facility.
You mean
Or wherever the hell y'all doing
The new multipurpose room.
here.
Where the
Somewhere.
assessor's
Where
office
assessors
was.
used to be, yeah. So we're thinking that'll work. And then South Berkeley and the Ruritan will be the same.
Yeah,
And
the read ahead says West Virginia code requires the county commission approve these locations prior to primary and general elections. I don't know. I assume we did it for the primary.
you did.
I
you
guess we
did.
have to do it again for the general election.
Evidently, yeah.
First, have a location, then have the process.
Gotcha.
You're gonna do a new location.
Gotcha. You heard the man.
I make a motion that we approve the early voting locations similar to what we did in the primary this past year. And so we'll have 3 locations here in Berkeley County for the general election here in November.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the early voting locations, the 3 of them in Berkeley County. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Now there's notice to the Berkeley County Commission of the number of election officials for the 2024 general election. It says here 450 poll workers, which is divided by Republican and Democrat.
Yes. We will get those names to you as soon as we have them formulated.
Is there a motion required for that?
There's going to be 56 sites, I guess, again.
Excuse me, sir.
There'll be 56 locations again, voting location, location. There's 80 precincts.
Yeah.
But there'll be 56 locations.
Yeah, there's no change. It doesn't look like there'll be any change, any additional areas for those 80 precincts.
But the total number of officials is 450. So
450 on the,
That's the same number we had in the primary?
yeah. And give or take a few more for spares for people that,
Right.
can't come. We have them out there. Some we use, some we don't. But
does this include the early voting
Yes.
employees as
Yeah.
well?
Mhm.
I assume
Yeah.
we need to approve that.
I would move that we approve 450 election officials for the 2024 general election.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the 450 plus poll workers and be divided equally amongst the Republicans and Democrats. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Uh-huh.
Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. I believe that's it, Tony.
Is that it?
I think you can
In
get
saying
it.
that, we still have some locations where didn't we have some where we didn't even have any voters at all? And that's something that, hopefully we can look
Yeah.
at in the future to,
Yeah, well,
Do
hopefully.
you think some of those people voted early and that's why they didn't have any?
well, there was, I know one precinct only
Just
had
really
12
nobody showed up
only
for that
had
precinct.
12 registered voters.
Yeah. Precinct
So
8. I
hopefully
believe
in
it
the
is.
future, we can
Consolidate.
downsize that and consolidate those into,
Yeah, that's something we'll probably have to look at for the.
even if you
2020s.
can't reduce a precinct, you can at least reduce it to another voting site so that we're not paying the.
Right.
we're not-
Like where I voted,
think
there
it
was
We
two.
had the one where there's 12, and that was a whole paid staff there for 12
Yeah.
people, and nobody came to vote that day.
Yeah. Well, the Secretary of State's office likes to see 5 poll workers there.
Like where I voted, there were 2 precincts.
Yeah.
But that can get confusing. They almost had put mine in the wrong box.
Yeah.
You had a box on each side, and they were
Right.
over there like, oh, no, you're that side. I'm like, okay, let's make sure it goes in the right one.
And,
Yeah. So you can combine them, I'm assuming, because there was 2 at where I went.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we have, some have 3.
yeah.
3 precincts at one facility. It all depends
But
how
it's
big it is.
ludicrous to have one with only 12 voters.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It is discouraging, Mr. Catlett, but right now we just have to work through it, when you only have that many people there. And there's,
What area was that?
it's downtown.
It's here in Martinsburg.
You're downtown,
City.
okay.
Yeah.
So you could combine them where mine was at then, make it 3, right?
Well, yeah, but that's something we'll have to look at down the road. I mean, I can't do anything now for the November. Just
Right.
it's a process with
Yeah.
the state. And,
Understandable.
but anything's possible. But other than that, voter registration office working hard, getting ready. As you know, we put out some grants to get some money, certain equipment. Hopefully, we get that. I'm going back and work on some ADA. We're going to go out and visit some schools and make sure everybody's up to snuff for the ADA. The ADA they go around and do check these facilities. So
Well, like you say, they should be compatible
yeah,
to the disabled anyway. So.
yeah. Most are. Some
Yeah.
are a little tricky.
Yeah.
Gravel and that type of thing. So other than that, that's all I have.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate y'all's time.
Appreciate your time.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Chad Weinbrenner. What you got, bud?
Yes, sir. The first item before you is the MOU between you and the State Supreme Court of Appeals. This is a space lease agreement for family court. It's a continuation of the previous agreement. It has been vetted by legal. Nothing has changed, and they are recommending that you sign.
And this is where?
This is for the Judicial Center.
It's inside the Judicial Center. Yeah.
And how much you paying?
There's
Uh-oh, here it
there's
comes.
Jeff.
Because I've been working on it. It's $15 a square foot, which is what it was the last lease that we had for a year, but it's up 50% from where we started, which was $10 a square foot. And they've also kind of got them to drop the terms to where it would renew every 5 years forever, and you could negotiate the price again. So I think that one ends the end of 2026, and then you can negotiate price if you want at that point again. But I don't think in the next year we would probably have much room to try to get them to go up yet. At that point, we may. So I think it's fine, and they can't pay us until we have a lease signed on, or an MOU signed on file.
But it's $15 per square foot per year. For the
Well,
year.
per month,
Is it per month?
or yeah. I mean, I can't remember how it's worded exactly. It basically comes out to $10,000 and some dollars
$10,240.
a month.
For the whole, per month?
A month.
Yeah, it says monthly invoice.
Yeah, which when we started, I think it was something like 6,000 something,
Okay,
or each month. Yeah,
so it is per month then.
that's per month. Yeah.
What period of time does this commencing July 1st? That's it.
Yeah, the last one we had expired at the end of June. Actually, I think it expired. They were managing to pay us until the auditor's office realized there was something missing.
Of course. Do we have a motion for the memorandum of understanding between Berkeley County Commission and the Supreme Court of Appeals of West Virginia?
So moved.
Second. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
Second item for your consideration today is the agreement. It's a three-party agreement between yourselves, the sheriff, and the Board of Education to continue to staff the school resource officers. This is a renewal of last year's agreement where some of the large changes included the Board of Education paying for time only when the officer is present. That was a big change that you all made last year. There are no changes to this agreement from last year. This is simply a renewal. The Board of Education and the Sheriff's Department have already signed.
And the Board of Education, of course, pays for
Yes,
And I think that to date, we're still at 3 that we're,
yes, sir.
yeah, which is the 3 county high schools and.
Well,
not
Martinsburg.
is covered by the city, of
Yes,
course,
sir.
so. But the 3 county high schools.
Musselman, Hedgesville, and Spring Mills.
I don't understand. What about the middle schools? You think they'd have much as the need for?
Well, they're working on that. In fact, they already have some of those middle schools covered.
Yeah,
But
because
they're not using our
Yeah, because
deputies to do so.
middle schools are as rough as high schools.
Probably worse.
Yeah. But they're working on that, yeah.
Do we have a motion for the agreement of the school-based law enforcement resource officer?
It seemed to have worked very well this past year because I know there was issues prior to that, these adjustments. So I would make a motion that we approve the agreement again with the Board of Education for SROs for this upcoming school year.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the school-based law enforcement resource officers be agreed to with us, the county sheriff, and the Board of Education. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right. Anything else, Chad?
No, sir.
Any items from the public? Do we have an executive session? Is there any other business?
Well, seeing how I'm on this side of the room and you're sitting where you're sitting, I will make a motion to recess, sir.
Well, thank you. We are recessed.